Hey guys! So I quit drinking coffee 2 months ago, and I just want to share with you how that's been. If you don't want to watch this whole video and you just want to know really quickly how it was really hard. It did eventually get easier, and I'm glad I did it because I'm now sleeping much better, and I was having some stomach issues that I'm no longer having. Like, as soon as I quit coffee, basically those stomach problems just went away. But if you want a little more detail, here's the whole story. I've been drinking coffee for 10 years. Started drinking coffee in high school, and I drink a lot of coffee. I normally drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day, and I drink it strong and I drink it black. Actually, my grandma says that I make my coffee so strong that it's thick enough to cut with a knife. A cup of coffee for me probably had a good bit more caffeine in it than somebody who makes regular strength coffee and then puts creamer and sugar in it. But I actually thought that I was drinking coffee responsibly. You may not know what drinking responsibly means, but I'll tell you. So I thought because I stopped drinking coffee at 12 o'clock, like once noon hit, I wouldn't drink any more coffee. I thought that that was good because that would give the caffeine enough time to get out of my system and it wouldn't affect my sleep. At least that's what I thought. I didn't really have any evidence or reason for thinking this. It's just kind of something I came up with on my own, but I thought if I stopped at noon, it wouldn't affect my sleep. And also, I thought because I didn't put creamer or sugar in my coffee, it was healthy. I thought the reason that coffee's not healthy is just because people put so much sugar in it, and that's what's not good for you, but coffee in itself is perfectly fine. And I'm not saying that coffee is not healthy, and I'm not saying it's not perfectly fine. I just think that some people are more sensitive to coffee or to caffeine, and I think now from doing this little experiment where I've quit drinking coffee, I think that I was one of those people who did happen to be more sensitive. Now, actually, I had tried to quit coffee 2 times in the past, and I just didn't succeed. It was too hard. By the second day, I gave up because I get headaches. Most people say they don't get headaches until the second day. I would get headaches by the afternoon of the first day of not having a cup of coffee. And the headaches weren't even the worst part. It was just like the huge amount of exhaustion that I felt, and like I couldn't get anything done. My brain just felt foggy, like it couldn't think, and I just needed to stay on the couch all day and sleep. And I hated that feeling because who has time to not get anything done for a whole day? So I would just give in and go get a cup of coffee and then go about my day like normal. Recently though, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about giving up coffee and how they've had a good experience. And so I thought, well, if those people can give up coffee, surely I can too. The first 3 weeks were really hard. I just really wanted coffee. And it wasn't even so bad waking up in the morning and just needing a cup of coffee right away. That's what I expected. It would just be getting over that first couple of hours in the morning, but it wasn't really like that. It was like the entire day I would think about coffee, and all I wanted was coffee. And even before going to bed, sometimes I would be thinking about coffee and how nice a hot cup of coffee would be and how good it would smell and how good it would taste. And I've never had coffee right before bed, but my brain, I guess, just wanted it whenever it could have it. And so I would just think about coffee the entire day. And I did. I really wanted to give in because it just seemed like it would be so nice to have a cup of coffee. But I didn't. I stuck with it, and I really think it took a month and a half for me to be completely over fixating on having a cup of coffee. By a month and a half, I wasn't really thinking about coffee anymore. And I'm not tired. I don't feel like I need a cup of coffee to focus or to get work done. I do sometimes still think it would be nice to have a cup of coffee because I just enjoy coffee. But I don't feel that I have any, I don't need the caffeine at all or anything like that. My brain's functioning at the same level that it was when I would have had a cup of coffee in the past. And I wake up in the morning feeling pretty good. Like, I don't feel like I need a cup of coffee. I will have a cup of tea, but I just to have something warm, but I don't feel like I'm missing out on having a cup of coffee anymore. And then as far as my symptoms, So pretty much my entire adult life, I've had just this yucky feeling, probably about 2 or 3 times a week, where my stomach just feels kind of car sick, kind of nauseous. It's not anything terrible. It's been really easy to live with. It's just kind of annoying, and you just feel kind of gross and yucky. It's not a pleasant feeling. And that feeling completely went away when I stopped drinking coffee. So in the past, I had kind of suspected that it might have been caused by coffee, because it did seem like it would be worse if I just drank coffee on an empty stomach. It did seem like that feeling would be worse, but I never really, it wasn't consistent. It wasn't happening every day, so I just wasn't sure, and it was easy to say, oh, it's just something that happens to me. But now that I've stopped coffee, I haven't had that feeling at all. And then number 2, I've been sleeping the best that I can ever remember sleeping in my adult life. This is something that I didn't know was caused by coffee either. I just thought, well, a lot of people have trouble sleeping. It's just something that I'm gonna have to deal with. Probably it would help if I wouldn't be on the computer right before bed, and it's also probably just that I have a lot of stress in my life. But now that I'm not drinking coffee, I've been sleeping really well. And my specific problem would be that it would just be really hard to fall asleep. It was like my brain didn't want to shut off. And a lot of times I would fixate on if there was a problem, even if it wasn't a big problem or a stressful problem, I would like fixate on whatever that problem is and think of like the worst case scenario and what's the worst that could possibly happen. And I wouldn't be able to sleep because I would just be running that problem through my head. Even if I did manage to go to sleep, sometimes I would sleep fine, but then sometimes it would be like a shallow sleep, and it would be like I was kind of half conscious, half asleep. I don't know if you guys have experienced that kind of sleep, but it's really not fun. And when you wake up, you don't feel like you slept well. You feel like you slept terrible. But for the last month and a half, I've had one night where I didn't sleep very good. And that's entirely the opposite of what I used to feel like. I used to have 1 or 2 nights where I slept really well in a month. So I think I'm sold. As much as I love coffee and as much as I feel like it's been an important part of my routine for a third of my life, I can't ignore that I just feel a lot healthier and a lot better. So I'm giving it up for good, and I just wanted to make this video to share that with you guys. Maybe if you're having some of the same problems that I was having, you might want to try limiting caffeine or giving it up entirely and just see how it affects your body. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.